What's going on, everyone? Happy Monday to you. Happy top of the week. And as I get in here to start working on some record production things that I need to do for some clients, I wanted to get on here. It just hit me, and I said, you know what? Let me do a quick video on this because I wanted to share some things with you. So, the topic of today is what is really record producing, okay? And the reason that I'm doing this is because I've, talked to a lot of guys who are young and they make beats and they call themselves record producers. And just trying to explain to them that, it's more than just being able to be a beat maker. And, I'm not knocking any of them because some of them are really great at what they do. And, they really have a skill set to that really makes the record work. So, that's not my point. My point is the difference between record producing and beat making. Well, actually, it's more of, when I think about it, it's really just kind of giving you a better idea of what record producers do because I think a lot of you still don't really know because you hear the record after it's done and you have no idea what went into it. So I'm going to just kind of give you some things here. If you look behind me, you can see my board here. I wrote a couple of things down, and kind of in the order that I think is most important for a record producer. So for me, first of all, it's about finding the song. That's my job as a producer. I got to find the right song to produce. You get a lot of different songs, and this is for both producers who may not play an instrument at all, and it may be some of those like myself who play keyboards, do a lot of engineering. But I'm just going to kind of tell you all the things that we have to do. So first of all, it's finding the song. Got to find the right song. That is key. And if we can't find a song, then like I said, if you're a musician, then you have to write that song. And after the song is written, you have to find the right artist to sing that song because I believe it's important that the marriage between the song and the artist, you have to have that chemistry between the song and the artist. And then you work on your production stuff. But listen, before you even get to the production side, you got to make the calls. You got to call all the musicians. You got to make sure you find the right studio. You got to call a studio. You got to call the engineers. You got to get the right vocalists. You got to schedule, making sure all of these things line up. So a lot of administrative work that you know people don't think about. They just think about the creative side. Producer's job is to make all that happen. Get on the phone, make those calls, get the people that you need to get, schedule that time and those dates to make it all work together. And then when we get into the recording, I mean that part. Now, if you're not a musician or not an engineer, you don't understand the recording process, then it's important for you to understand terms like compression and gates and reverbs and delays and knowing what those things mean so you can communicate. If it's not you doing it, then with the engineer, and if he's saying some things, you have a clue of what's going on, or you can communicate in a way where you can make the sound even better and happen more efficiently and quicker because you know the terms and he can understand your language. And then the mixing part. Now I'm going to go a little more into mixing, but this all falls under recording. Um, Mixing, you got to be there for the mix. You got to make sure everything is sounding good. The mastering part, you got to find the right mastering person and make that record come out. And the editing and post and pre-editing, that's the part that really is the most tedious, and that's the part for me that's ooh, a pet peeve. But flying in vocals, flying in sections, backgrounds here and there, making sure everything lines up. Listen to all the different vocal takes and making sure the vocals sound good and you're picking the best ones. That can be a back and forth process. That can take a lot of time. And a lot of people are in the studio, so they don't see producers on this side a lot of times. Recording vocals is an art within itself. I mean, to me, it's like you have to be a psychiatrist when you're working with a vocalist because every vocalist is different. There's some people who are producers and they could go in with their egos and come on, get the song right. What are you doing? That sounds horrible. And that vocalist that they're working with, depending on their mindset, that may be good for them. It may push them to get better, but for some it may be like, whoa, this guy's too overwhelming. He's making me sound worse. So you have to know when to push and when not to push, and understand who you're working with, understand their language, get to know them, get an idea what resonates with them, and when you're working with vocalists, that's a big part of producing. Also, mixing. Mixing, wow, I mean, you may have to mix 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times over and over, and then you may do a remix. You may do a version of a song that just has more of an acoustic sound to it, where you take out some of the instruments. You may do one where it's more house or upbeat with the same song. So there's a lot to mixing. My point is, record production is a lot more than what you may think it is. It's not as simple as you think. And then mastering the song. So getting the song, after you do all of this work, you can go to the wrong mastering company and all of that you did now sounds like crap because it wasn't mastered the right way. It was too compressed. It sounds distorted. So that's important. Finding the right mastering, make you should get it mastered a couple of different times, maybe in different ways, with the vocals a little up, the volume maybe a little down. It's going to sound different on different speakers. There's a lot to mastering, and the whole thing is that, again, all of this is going to fall under the producer, because if you take it to a record company, they're not going to try to hear from you, well, the mastering guy wasn't the right guy, he messed it up. It falls all on you. It's your responsibility. So, any producers that you know, salute your record producers. Show them love, show them your support, and let them know you appreciate what they do, especially when you hear a product when it's all done and you're like, wow, this sounds great. There's a lot that goes into it. So, again, I hope this helps you understand the art of record producing and give you a better idea of all the work that we put into it. Thank you, and you have a great week. I'll talk to you soon. This is Donald Robinson. You can always go to my website, www.donaldrobinsonstudios.com. All right? And I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.